my pointer goes. This is one of the walls from the ancient synagogue, the synagogue that Jesus walked into. Okay. Now please ignore this, only because the white color of the limestone is white, but there's no mentioning, neither in the Bible nor anywhere else, why it's supposed to be the white synagogue. I don't know if you Google white synagogue, you'll get to Capernaum. But this is lying on top of the ancient synagogue. And before we go in, all right? All right. Hiding behind. All right. Now look at this. Look at the shape of the synagogue. Can you see that there is a center nave and two side naves? We're sitting on the western nave. Okay. I can easily come in here and give you a full lecture and make you believe that this is a church. Very easy. More than a church. This is a basilica. You know what a basilica is? What is a basilica? A very large church.
Basilica.
Basilica. What is
It's a church. A big church.
why is it called basilica?
Higher.
Basileus in Greek means king. And when the king was the head of the church, he used to hold all the conferences, everything here. Later on, it was transformed to being the worship place. This is it. You have a center nave and side naves, and if you remember, if you could see, even though we had all these screens in the Church of Nativity, there were two naves on each side of the center one. That is to enable the building to be very, very large. So basilica, but that goes again that even though it's a Jewish place, okay, this was the architecture at that time. It didn't contradict. As long as inside here there aren't any pictures or icons. What will you decorate a synagogue with?
Star of David. Candles.
Star of David. Star of David is much later, not before 12th century AD. But candles, the candlestick, the menorah, okay. You'll find the menorah, right? You'll find the menorah usually.
The Torah.
Huh?
The Torah.
The Torah, okay. What else? Have you heard of the 7 species that the land was blessed with?
No, but I saw that in the gift shop yesterday.
All right. So we have what we call the 7 species. This comes from the book of Deuteronomy.
What is it?
So you've got a lot of, sometimes you would find this big shovel, a shofar, right? These are the things that you will decorate the synagogue with. It doesn't mean limit, but look at the way you sit. You sit. This one is not the 5th century one, but somehow it was built the same. Okay, around. Today we have two kinds. The Jews that come from Eastern Europe, the synagogue is placed almost, I don't want to say like a church, but it's the seats and the bima stands in front. The Sephardic one are usually round and the bima will be in the middle. Just different styles. Now, when we pray, we go into a synagogue after the temple is destroyed, right? Before that, it was for teaching. So there's no cupboard with a Bible. If you want, you can bring it in. But afterwards, after the temple is destroyed, right, the synagogue becomes a diminished temple. And all the rituals are done in the synagogue except one, except making sacrifices. The Bible states exactly that if there's no high priest and there's no temple, you cannot offer sacrifices. That is to prevent people from going anytime, anywhere, and start slaughtering animals and offering. It becomes a pagan work. So when you go into a synagogue, which is a later synagogue, after the temple was destroyed, and then you have to do the prayer, this is where you do it. How do you do it? Do you face anywhere? Do you just stand? You sit? Do you know? Well, we face somewhere. A bima, or the place where there's an ark and the books inside. All right? Yeah. But where would it be placed? Anywhere? Just standing? Even if you don't go to a synagogue and you see a man, and sometimes men do it, they get out of the car or they stand somewhere because it's a time of prayer, and they will face east. Why east? So here, I'm going to use the stones. Here, the stones really talk to us. Everything we're going to see over there is things that belong to this synagogue. Now, I forgot in my suitcase the book. I took it out and then put it back again to show you. But we know that the synagogues around the Galilee had almost the same structure, like the basilica. And then the upper gallery was used as a beautiful building. When we go out, you can see a picture right here. So you see the beam? Based on the knowledge of and the research, we know that there was this supported an upper gallery. Now we'll go out of here after you take a few pictures, and I want to show you the decoration of what you would find in a synagogue. Opening, look at the columns, and maybe there was a wheel so they can move it. They can shift it from one side to another. We mind you that in Magdala, when they excavated the village, they have they found out also a small synagogue, but dates back to the 1st century. That's before the temple was destroyed, and yet they found on the place there it's a stone that has 4 horns. Now you know the meaning of the horns of the altar of the temple. Not,
No, I don't.
it is. It says that if somebody was accused of something, if he ran and held and was holding the horns of the altar, nobody can do anything to him.
Sanctuary.
Yep. And they found a relief of this, meaning that even during the time that the temple existed and they were gathering in the synagogue only for preaching and teaching, they still visioned the temple. Because it wasn't so easy to go back and forth. Book of Deuteronomy, we see this one, and I'm cheating right now because I'm going to read it from the back, but never mind. It's going like this. It says, a land of wheat and barley and wine and fig tree and pomegranate, a land of olive and honey. Remember the land of milk and honey? I said the honey comes from the dates. All right? So this would be very common to decorate the synagogue. Let's see it. As long as it's geometrical or plants or something like that. Now I know you're going to ask me if this is a Star of David. No. It's too early. Too early. But the Star of David started much later because apparently David had a shield. Okay, basically in those times, 6 was ignored because 6 something it has to do with Satan.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
So it was much later.
Yeah.
What is this?
Dates?
No.
Grapes?
Olives. This is the this is the leaves of the olives. Look behind you.
Yeah, okay.
Look at that tree.
Sure. Which one?
This one right here. What is this?
Pomegranate.
Right. See the pomegranate?
Right there.
See the pomegranate here? Now, John, where are you?
Oh boy.
John, this is for you. John,
Oh, wine.
look
grapes.
here.
Grapes. Grapes.
The thing is, you'll have to make the wine now. And look at that over there.
More grapes.
Yep.
Grapes right here.
Here and some more By the way, you know they make wine out of pomegranate. Okay? So there's a rock. After Jesus, and that is in Matthew 16, it's long before. I mean, they dwell here, then one time they move up there because it's less frightening or less threatening, because this is the area of Philippus, and that is up there in Caesarea Philippi, in Banyas. Jesus asked them, who do people say that I am? Someone say Elijah, another one say John the Baptist. It's only Peter that recognized him, and since then keeps telling him that someday he will be the successor, even though he's also a bit angry. How did you tell me today on the bus? Have a little faith. Little faith. We're going to talk about faith. Now look what's standing next to his feet on the left-hand side if you're looking from here. One fish. Okay, what is the significance of one fish? So you have to have a lot of fish. Why one fish? We're talking about Jesus. Jesus is performing miracles. Thank you, Sean. You just...
What was it?
You saved us, Sean.
Yeah.
We can
Thanks
eat.
to Sean, you're going to lunch.
When did he say? A few weeks ago.
The fish that came out of the water and had half a shekel in his mouth. Because to pay the tax of the temple.
That's funny.
Now, this is nothing because I haven't done my spiel in the primacy of Peter.
Yeah, can I add something?
Please do.
The stained glass window in St. Therese has the fish with the coin in its mouth.
Send her a
You're
picture.
looking at the altar.
Okay, send
Over
me
on
a
the left
picture
side,
and
the
I'll
fish has the
break.
coin.
My, not the next one, the next one is Americans. I don't know if they're Catholic or Protestant, but if you send me the picture, I will break.
That's all right, you can tell them anyway.
Yep.
The only Catholic church in Montrose, New York.
Yep.
You can't see it because it's, right?
Yeah.
And it's a dark statue to begin with.
That is something. You know, it would be nice too if they had like an audio recording describing to people what they're looking at, right?
But I think that would take too long because then you stand there and listen to it and look and listen and look. Then you need a month.
Which way did she say we were going? She said, to the church. Oh, you need here?
Yeah.
Nothing more. Feeling.
When you see it then. likely.
If John is here, we can start.
Yeah, you're all
John's
here.
here. And Brooke.
John's here, we can start.
Honey lemon?
I counted.
So the reason I sent you up because this is probably the fifth phase of the church in Capernaum. This was built by Berluzzi, all right, also 1924, and as you can see, it's above the remnants. And the remnants we have here, what you see is 5th century AD, below 4th century AD, below 1st century AD, and below probably the house of the in-law. Okay? This was not the hometown of Peter. Peter, Andrew, his brother, and Philippus, 3 of the disciples, lived, their hometown was Bethsaida, not too far from here. But they lived here, I guess he got married and they lived here. And Jesus spent the 3 years when he was in the Lower Galilee, by the Sea of Galilee. You have to understand, Nazareth is Galilee as well. By the Sea of Galilee, he spent the 3 years here. He wandered around, but this was the dwelling area. And as I said, it was a big city. You can see this is what we call the town. Those square things, structures, are insular. If you look towards the wall, okay, that separates the Catholic area from the Greek Orthodox. Soon enough, when you walk a little bit over there, you can see the red dome and the white building, the Greek Orthodox. They call it the Church of Apostles, but and also the Greek Capernaum. What I'm saying is, we knock this and continue excavating. This town goes beyond. It was a very big town. And as I said, it was wealthy because there was a custom house. Now, unlike Magdala, who was proper Jewish people, this had a mixed community. And in Hebrew, in some of the commentary books, it says they call themselves Minim. They lived among the Jews. After the crucifixion, twice when Jesus is appearing in front of his disciples, they don't stay in Jerusalem, they come back to the Galilee. Right? And they keep on their business here. They wander around, but they still here. And much later, a church is built. 1st century AD, a church is built on top of where the house is by a man who's called Joseph the Commis, Joseph the Friend. He could not build a church in Nazareth. Nazareth is a very orthodox little town. Okay? 4th century AD, when Christianity is already the official religion of the Roman Empire, another church is built, and this one is enlarged. Now, if you can see, it's got angles because this structure is also octagonal. Okay, 8 because this is the number of 12. You saw that the main part of the church is open. This is the way of the architect to depict what happened here. One was one of the miracles, healing, that happened in Capernaum. Lowering the man through the roof. Why? The door was jammed with people. They couldn't get him in. And it's very easy because it is so hot here, 3/4 of the year, that they don't have concrete or stone roof. It's usually straw. So it's easy to pull and bring it. We know also that Jesus revived Tabitha. Talita. Tabitha is Peter. Talita. And he says to her, Talita Kumi. Talita also in Aramaic is like a little daughter, a little girl. He says to her, Kumi. Kumi is rise up. He's healing the mother-in-law. And he spends here about 3 years of his life while doing a lot of other things. And then ending up cursing the place for not really following him. Here, this one, Bethsaida and Chorazin. Out of the 3, Chorazin and Capernaum, and more so Capernaum, we can see a lot. The church that was destroyed was not by men, but mostly by nature. And that's why we can't see most of it, because when it's destroyed, some upper parts are falling on top, then you can uncover it. The excavation was done here by the monks, the Franciscan monks. Now today is a Saturday, and as he is walking on the beach and he picks up Andrew and his brother, Peter and his brother, Andrew is the first one he calls. And they leave the net, they leave the people, and they come after him. And then he finds out Simon and his brother, the sons of Zebedee. They lived here. They leave their father and they follow him. And what do on a Saturday? It says, and straightway he called them, and they left their father Zebedee in the ship, which was with a hired servant, and went after him. And they went into Capernaum, and straightway on the Sabbath day he entered into the synagogue and taught. It doesn't say that he prayed, he taught, because the synagogues that existed while the temple existed, they were gathering house for teaching. You remember the one in Masada? You'll see the same structure here. Now I automatically were pointing, but actually I was about to ask you, where is the synagogue? Do you see? Okay, well I pointed. That is. Why do you think this is a synagogue?
Behind.
Yeah,
It's
why?
in the middle of the town.
Middle of the town, okay.
across the top of the
No, because they don't close. What did you say, John? Largest cross? Basically, the reason I'm asking is, you don't feel bad because there's no way of knowing what is a synagogue, because a synagogue doesn't have a specific structure on the outside. Now in the Galilee we know two kinds. We know the early synagogue that were very much decorated on the outside, but when Christianity takes its place as the official religion, it becomes a bit more difficult to have really decorated synagogue. All the decoration comes within the synagogue, and it looks very simple on the outside. The one you see is not the one that Jesus walked into. The one you see is the one below, and when we go there, I'll show you one of the walls. It was built on top. The synagogue looked the same as this structure here, with this black basalt stone. It's just that, as I said, the city was very, very wealthy. They could afford to buy limestone and build this, right? And we know it's 5th century because when excavation was done here, they found coins. Now on coins, either you have the emblem of the emperor, and you can tell what era it is, or number, or something that depicts the era. We know that. Sometimes it's the decoration on the floor. It depends what. Now look, the synagogue is there, and there's a church here. That immediately gives you the feeling that there's two. We haven't been to Nazareth yet, and I'll mention it tomorrow, because today in Nazareth you have Muslims and Christians. And I will tell you about the tension that is happening there, even though it's an Arab town. It seems like, as I said, the will exists. We can change the color, we can change the size, but we can't change things. Repeat themselves. It doesn't change. Now, unless you have